Greetings from the planet Earth. This is Silver Surfman Annual 3, which is a very good main story and an appropriate one because a month ago they released the Resident Evil 3 remake and nobody liked it as much as the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I thought it would be really timely to wait until people didn't care anymore to do this issue of Silver Surfman, where Silver Surfman, he fights Nemesis off of Resident Evil 3. I didn't call it Resident Evil though. No, I call it President Evil because the president is evil. President Donald Trump, he is evil and he is orange. The main story here is by Jim Starlin and Ron Lee. That is Stanley Lee's little brother. And Ron Marz girl, he is credited as a co-writer, but I think at best he did maybe the action bits. There is far more Jim Starman in the story than there is Ron Marz girl, and this is reinforced by one of the backup stories. One of my least favourite videos that I have ever done was the one where I talk about how the Jim Starman, Ron Lee, Silver Surfman run, the funniest reborn one, how that is like special to us, and I read it every Christmas because I am depressed. The opening of this story really made us smile because it's like an extra scene or a deleted scene from that trade. Silver Surfman, he returns to Earth to update the Avengers about his conflict with Thanos. We've got a guest appearance from Captain America. Elsewhere, we have got Nemesis, and he kills Brad Vickers. Look, he even calls him Brad. And this here is our introduction to him. This isn't the character's first appearance. There was an Hulk annual before this one where Hulk, he fought Nemesis. I get that one out of review, or I might not. I probably might not. So Nemesis, he starts mutating into his final form, and he starts devouring and killing people in Raccoon City. So Sam Jackson, he calls up Mr. Fantasticals to do something about Nemesis. We have got a great scene here that is definitely written by Jim Starman. We've got Captain America and Silver Surfman. And Silver Surfman, he is feeling bad about having apparently killed Thanos. And Captain America offers him some reassurance and some sage advice about how Silver Surfman's conscience is proof that he is not a bad guy. Mr. Fantasticals, he ends up crossing paths with Silver Surfman, and the two team up again and investigate Nemesis. And look, that bitch cannot even swim. So now we are getting towards the big Silver Surfman versus Nemesis fight, and the book here, it briefly made us think that Seaman, he was going to get involved too, because Nemesis, he gets into the ocean and he starts devouring sea life. And here is a big splash page as Nemesis says his immortal catchphrase, stars. The art and writing here is fantastic. You want stars? I will give you stars. And it's not just a big fight between Silver Surfman and Nemesis, although there is a lot of that. You will not be disappointed on that front. But they resolve it with a great bit where Silver Surfman, he takes Nemesis off into outer space and he deposits him on an abandoned planet where he can no longer harm any living being. But the thing is, Nemesis, he was once a human before the evil Umbrella Man Corporation experimented on him. And then the human face, it is there on Nemesis, and it is begging Silver Surfman to kill him and end his suffering. But then, calling back to that earlier scene with Captain America, Silver Surfman, he cannot bring himself to kill Nemesis, even though he is begging for it. And Silver Surfman can't provide this mercy, and he leaves the planet condemning Nemesis to a much worse fate and a horrible punishment, all because Silver Surfman is a pansy who couldn't bring himself to execute him. And that rather dark ending with a man left in pain is the end of the main story. The backup stories, they are all by Marz and Ron Lee, that is Stanley Lee's little brother. He does the art for both of them. Here we have got a little bit explaining the powers of Silver Surfman's surfing board. I will never complain about stuff like this, and it is great to have Ron Lee doing the art for all these backups. Then we have got a full backup story about an evil warlord who has killed an entire planet, and Silver Surfman, he is gone into this planet to have a rest, and he encounters the warlord. The warlord guy, the baddie, he does appear again in some more of Ron Marsgill's run on the book. That also helps this not feel like another disposable backup story. In general, this annual, altogether it feels important since we have 3 creators who are all heavily involved with Silver Surfman's main ongoing series. But this one, it demonstrates to me that that main story is far more Jim Starman than Ron Marsgill. Because here, Silver Surfman, he fights the warlord, we have a big fight between the two of them, and then at the end, Silver Surfman, he kills him. And this is obviously at odds with the fucking point of the main story. Silver Surfman, he couldn't bring himself to murder someone who was begging for it. But here, he just casually obliterates the warlord. This is undercutting the much better main story. And then afterwards, Silver Surfman, he is haunted by the Casper of the warlord. And then he is overwhelmed with all the Caspers of the people who died because of his actions as Skater Boy of Galactus Man. Ron Marsgill, he usually went too overboard with this one-eyed digger he had of Silver Surfman being overwhelmed by how many lives he had led Galactus Man to exterminate. The main story is great though, and the art is brilliant throughout. This is well good, so I rate it 7 thumbs up.